you know, events like this, where all the enthusiastic people gather around and just celebrating the great game of Counter-Strike. I've been playing this game for around 15 years, so seeing the game growing and becoming what it is today is absolutely great.
Ja, also ich gucke eigentlich schon immer Counter-Strike und spiele auch oft. Eigentlich schon ewig, 10 Jahre bestimmt, 15 Jahre. Und es war das erste Event jetzt live, aber man kann es auf jeden Fall jedem empfehlen, ist super. Also kann man auch mal auf Stockholm fliegen.
Well, Dreamhack is the first tournament of the season, some sort of a warm-up tournament to understand where you are right now compared to opposition again, right? To see like which things works for us after bootcamp, right? What we have to fix, because practice is practice, but tournament match, it's like totally different storyline normally. For me personally as a coach, that's like a thing to see who is capable of doing what right now, like at the current moment before major, right? So that will just show which teams got a better shape, which teams lost some shape or didn't have a groove yet, like which teams are still sleepy after vacation and stuff like this. So for me, it's just this tournament is giving answers on a worldwide stage right now, you know, on a worldwide positioning. It's not optimal and it's not like 100%, yeah, this team is best in the world right now. No, it's not like this, but it shows like how well prepared everyone are and how well prepared you are as well compared to them.
The Dreamhack, well, I'd say it's just another tournament. It is like the first tournament of the second season of this year in Counter-Strike. So everyone will have probably some new stuff to show and teams will come up with new energy or whatever. We'll try to do the same and just maybe surprise some people and just try to win.
It's a big tournament. We would be extremely happy to do well there. But on the other hand, we're also seeing the Dreamhack more like as kind of a tournament where we can see for us what works, what doesn't work, what we need to improve on, because right after Dreamhack it will be the major. And well, we would be even more happy to do good there. So in that sense, we're not going to be like totally devastated if Dreamhack doesn't work out. We're just going to, of course, do our best. We want to win. We want to win really bad, but we're also going to take it as a tournament to really improve on from further.
We practice for every tournament what's coming, but there is like obviously if you have 50 tournaments per year, you need to prioritize the most important ones, and on those tournaments you need to practice more and more quality. And so yeah, we are practicing to every tournament, but some of them are more important, and in those tournaments, for example majors, you have only 2 per year, and that's like the high priority. And that's why we're having the bootcamp right now. We have a Dreamhack Stockholm, and then we have a major. So basically now we have 1 week here and we are preparing for a major, but we use the Dreamhack as a kind of warm-up tournament.
Well, I'm in this thing for like 15 years and that's just a bad sign for me personal. That's why I'm not trying to do or to give any predictions or any statements before the matches, especially opener matches. I mean, later it's fine, but in an opener tournament match I'm never doing this.
In the beginning, we took a lot of CT rounds, and that was our plan. We just wanted to shut them down on our CT side, possibly get the 15 on our side. But then they won some rounds where we had advantages, and they just started to climb up with some rounds, but went into the T side. They also won the pistol, but at that point it was just us winning the game. We made good decisions as a team, ready to go together, and that's how we won the game.
We don't know who we are playing against yet, so for next match we will prepare probably tomorrow, because we will have a lot of time for it, and we will know opponent obviously, so then we will prepare tomorrow morning probably.
Right now we've been eating breakfast and just watching the matches. Nothing special yet, but we're going to have a team discussion in a few minutes to discuss about the upcoming match. I think we can prepare well right now when we will have this team discussion. We had a really nice camp, so individually we feel on point, and all that's left is just to play as a team.
Character is a bit different. Guys here like to be more calm and communicate better, since we are not talking native language. And basically because of this reason it's no point for us to be hyped, because that's not needed words or things going on in TeamSpeak. And because of this we are not hyping up and shouting, yeah, I can do it sometimes, but players know, they're just calm, they know what to do. We discussed the game plan before, so everything is fine, and they're just doing their job, right?
It's important for us, because if we beat them, we are going into the playoffs. I don't know, it's really hard to say how they play, because they have also a new lineup like we do, and they don't have a lot of matches on record, so we will see.
I mean, I think we should beat Made in Brazil 2-0. We're gonna watch some demos together of how they were playing, in the previous tournament they played, and watch how they played yesterday in their match. We're gonna try to find some weaknesses maybe, and on the other hand we're trying to not let them dictate too much how we want to play, so we still want to play our own game. For sure they're gonna put up more of a fight than Gambit did yesterday, I think. Gambit has not really been in good shape, and Made in Brazil has just won a pretty big tournament, even though obviously they're also not at their top level, but they're coming back to it, I feel like. So they're gonna be a hard opponent. We need to be focused to beat them. The match is important. We want to go to the playoffs. We feel, even with the old lineup, we were not happy with only going to playoffs. We want to go deep into tournaments. So it's really important to reach the playoffs at least, and it would be nice to instantly be in the playoffs again after the player break.
This is not my SSD, this told me that it's deep.
Really?
Yes.
So how do I know
Check
that?
your language.
I don't have language.
We try to do things too much correct, you know. We was playing not to play, we was playing not to make mistakes. We was afraid of making mistakes, you know. and he was afraid of making like some sort of missteps, and that's why it basically caused all these like problems.
We stepped up in our communication and just didn't hesitate so much in decisions later on, and I think that was the key to success. We just decided as a team that we have nothing to lose and we don't need to prove anything to anyone. So we just stick to our playbook, and that's how we got it.
It's the first time you go on a stage with this lineup, so what do you expect?
I expect more games like this today.
We are playing FaZe. That's like Turbo El Clásico, you know, for us, and yeah, we beat them last time, lost final before, so this matchup is just something else, I would say. Playing against FaZe is just like, that's a hype around the world, you know, that's like 10 nationalities and players. There's just something special. I mean, it's not like you have some special things to do or things to think or whatever, but this matchup was always some sort of celebration for every fan, you know, in the world, because this match is usually it's pretty ridiculous and weird things happening, which is not happening in normal matches, so that's why it's so interesting to watch sometimes. If you're coming to a tournament, you're planning to win it, or you want to win it at least, right? Even if you're like too optimistic or whatever, but you have to be optimistic.
For one tap,
Double taps.
Did.
Let's go on.
What happened here was that someone was like, for example, asking for a flash or telling that can you peek, for example, and then other guys just don't respond on time, or I don't know what was that, but it was like just that there was like miscommunications like that.
I think the first match they just had no answer. They don't play us too, so we knew how to just outplay them, and we outplayed them every round, I think, and that's how a 16-0 happens. We just dominated that map. Inferno was really close. If we had a better T side, we should have won the map. We almost came back on the CT side, but in the end they won crucial after plant on B side. And then on the third map, we just started out pretty bad, and we started fighting towards the end, but we just couldn't get a good start, and they closed it out.
Could you give us a little overview for the next 2 months? How do your next 2 months look like?
Well, first, we have now like 8 days online practice, and then we travel to Major, which takes place in London, and it's going to take like 2 weeks. And from London, we are traveling to ESL1 New York for 1 week, so we are basically like 3 weeks away from home. And then after New York, we start our EPL and ECS online seasons. And our last tournament, I think, is Epic Sender right now, which we know. But obviously then there is EM Chicago and EPL finals later in the year.
And this tournament as a team, I mean, everyone can go home at like a good note. No one's gonna be sad. Probably gonna eat a good dinner. Yeah, that's most of it. Just flying home tomorrow.